from somewhere around the world. Mike from around the world.
Pastor Paul, God bless you, brother.
God bless you, Mike. How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving, Mike. Happy Thanksgiving.
And to you too, Pastor Paul. To you too.
They just announced that the 40,000th asteroid has been identified, near-Earth asteroids. 40,000 now, but 10,000 of them have been spotted in the last 3 years. And so they're saying that there's a massive increase in near-Earth objects that we're now encountering. Is this what you said in the past when there was a debris field coming? Can you help us understand this a little better?
That will continue to grow, right? Just like that, there's an object 93.2 miles in diameter. Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big round ball.
Wait, 92 miles in diameter?
93 miles, 150 kilometers. And it's been spotted. They know its orbit, but its orbit has changed, right? It's coming in closer to us now. And so we're having things like that happen. This thing is huge.
Now, wait, it's not in our solar system right now, is it? Or is
no,
it?
But it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's right underneath us, and it's coming. It's coming. Yeah.
That's gigantic.
I believe it's what is that? C 2014 271, I believe it is.
What?
So it's commonly known, but its orbit is changing. That's the one thing, right? You know, they have all these trajectories.
Yeah.
They forget that these trajectories change, right? We're having some real anomalies out there. So, we're coming into a very dangerous and active spot in the heavens, period. We're going to see some massive changes, right? I wouldn't be surprised if people begin to see for the first time a real double object with the sun. I wouldn't be surprised. They're not going to be able to tell what that is near the sun. They won't, but they'll see it with their own eyes and with cameras or whatever else. We just live in those days.
So now, we've been hearing about the binary system. You know, we've talked about it in the past. And is this thing coming from behind the sun is why we don't see it now, or is it just too far away?
Well, a binary system would have other objects in it, just like our solar system, right?
Yep.
So those objects, some of those objects would interact with the objects in our solar system.
Yeah, it's got to.
And it's just not going to be what. Well, we read those things in the Bible. We know the end results, and we're not too far away from that, right? It's just like some of this geoactivity in the last few days. We've had a lot of geoactivity. Africa is igniting, essentially. The atmosphere has been electrified. Underneath it, magma is pouring out the ground. There has been a notable change in quite a few areas in Africa, but in the world. And that's coming from what's happening with the sun. As the chemistry of the sun continues to change because it's being affected by something external, we will continue to change. And we're just in that time.
I mean, there's no question we got way more asteroids and interstellar objects and things coming at us. The sun is absolutely going bonkers out there because it's being, inundated with pressure, and then we have, as you say, when let's say this binary system, and we can call it Planet X, whatever we want to call it, but it's got a lot of other moons and planets orbiting it because it's its own solar system, and as it's going by, some of those moons or some of those things are going to come in view, but they're going to interact with Mars, Venus, Jupiter, whatever. So all of this is all part of God's plan. It's all timed. God's timing this, right? I mean, this is all part of what Jesus said was going to happen.
That's right. It's all under his control. And nothing is out of control, actually, right? It's all his declaration. All of it's his declaration. And it's not against believers. It is for believers.
All right, now let me ask you this: there's Elon Musk. When the guy from Saudi Arabia, when Osama bin, he's gone. When Mohammed bin Salman was here meeting with President Trump,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk was meeting with the CEO of NVIDIA and the Saudi Arabian Minister of Communications and Information of Technology.
Right.
And they were talking about they're going to build some of these data centers, underground data centers in Saudi Arabia as well as all over. But Musk said, "Look, guys, the future is we got to do this in space. We can't come up with enough water. We can't cool this thing. We can't generate enough power. We can build them and we can let them orbit the Earth, and it's deep freeze cold up there, and we can use solar panels to fuel it." Is this realistic, what he's saying?
Yeah, well, it's already being done to a degree. I mean, it's minus 455 degrees up there.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't need cold water to keep him cool, right?
It's going to cool anything off.
Yeah,
so there's a space station.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of the satellites up there are robust. The only thing is, I mean, of course, Elon would do that. He has, his space program.
Right. He's got a lot of
motivation.
motivation.
Keeps him in business for.
It keeps him going. Right.
But it is, think of the options. So if we put power plants, right? You're going to have to put a power plant in space. Now, those solar cells, that's a lot of power to generate.
Yeah, they may not be. They may not be able to generate enough power with solar panels.
Well, actually, in space, right?
They're a lot closer.
They have the solar panels that they're using right now. They have an upgraded version that will just blow your mind. The problem is, even if we have efficient solar panels or turbines, say one of these AI plants could get all of their energy from renewable energy, right? From a specialized windmill or something like that. It sounds like that'd be great. Wrong, because all of it's going to produce heat, right? So it's going to be like having a fire the size of a large Ford factory burning on a continuous basis in any certain place. They'll be able to produce the energy, but the emissions from that plant are going to change the atmosphere right above it. Right? That's what's wrong with cities today. Are the emissions from the cities that heat up the city.
Oh, so you're saying even if they're building underground data centers with their own small nuclear plant underground, the emissions from that energy has still got to come out of the ventilation. It's got to come out there somewhere, right? So
it's going to produce, you're going to have heat dissipation going all over the place, right?
Yeah.
And we're not talking about heat dissipation can affect our atmosphere is already hot. That will increase rainfall another 50%.
I see.
We don't need that. We're barely going to make it through the next 2.5 years with the rainfall that we have, right? We have a frontal system being formed right now that's guaranteed to put the USA under snow and ice and rain.
Big time.
We're gonna have a flood event we never saw before in about the next 3 or 4 weeks. It's gonna just smash all records.
They're saying this weekend there's going to be about 12 inches of snow. It's going to fall on about 12 states. I mean, this is not even December.
Yeah, it's going to happen again because we have another system forming right now as we speak. It's going to
come right in behind.
It's going to just shame that one, right? It'll shame that one. It's going to be a rough.
What's causing all this shift in weather?
It's the heated atmosphere, right? The upper atmosphere. So here's the whole process. In the upper atmosphere, we have something called galactic cosmic rays. Those galactic cosmic rays carry particulates. They get caught in the ionosphere. That gets ionized, which increases the electric field potential of the Earth total. So we have a global increase in temperature and electronic potential or electric potential. That will cause the atmosphere to heat up because it's a lot more dense, right? It's already hot up there and cold up there in certain areas, but the ionosphere is specifically hot. It does not translate the heat well because there's not enough matter in the ionosphere, right, to actually make a difference. But what they're having to do now, because of particulate settlement, is move satellites to a different type orbit because it's starting to heat up in the ionosphere.
Wow.
Which, by the way, it gets up to 5,000 degrees. It gets very hot. But the reason, again, when it's not dense enough, right, molecules cannot, you know, transmit that heat. So if it's without density, you can have it hot in the evening. You could go up there, I could go up there, but as soon as you introduce particulates, that heat's going to be transferred from particulate to particulate, right? It's also ionizing at a rapid rate right now as we speak. This has increased atmospheric conductivity. That means the ground absorbs the heat from the atmosphere, right? The radiation from the atmosphere. Normally it goes through the poles, but now it's coming straight down to the ground. 4 days ago, in the middle of the night, your audience should have burned up about 4 nights ago. It was cold outside, and everybody should have woke up sweating, saying, why is it so hot? I'm burning up as hot, right? That was an absolute effect from the sun affecting the earth. And people felt something akin to microwaves. Yeah. So ask anybody.
I'm going to say
in that time frame, did they wake up in the middle of the night feeling they're burning up hot?
Well, I did, and I had the air conditioning on.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
But I woke up sweating.
There you go. Most of your audience probably did the same thing.
So I got out of bed and I walked over and looked at the thermostat, and it still said 72 degrees. I'm thinking
this lasted 2 days. Lasted 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Now, those were minor effects. So here's what I'm telling you, because nobody else is saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that same effect increased at least 12 times.
So it's not the temperature in the room. No. It's the rays that's coming through.
We're being heated up from the inside out.
Yeah, right. and it was affecting, sort of like the core of the earth is being affected by this too, right?
There you go. So the next time this happens, right, because of what has changed, it's going to be, the effects will be 12 times greater. Anyway, getting back to our thing, though, this increases telluric currents in the earth, right? So as current increases in the earth, it causes a real effect with magma, with crystals, with rock, with everything else. That type of agitation or increase in current is going to translate into magma becoming hotter, right? The core of the earth, that material is under much more pressure because you're building up mass, right? The introduction of that electrical potential being turned to motion or pressure, that's a physical effect.
Is that going to affect the volcanoes then? And
that's right. There you go. That's why we had those eruptions.
Yeah.
I believe that's why we had those eruptions. And this will continue to happen. We even have the reverse effect taking place when there's too much energy inside the earth. We have the opposite effect taking place, which still affects the earth. Either way, what we're having on the earth is escalating by a factor that's they need to look at very closely. But I don't know how they're going to warn the people. I don't know that.
Well, the Bible does say that
this year coming up,
that we're going to have the grass burning and stuff. So you're saying this year coming up?
This year coming up is going to be horrific. I'm just saying we're in trouble this year. 2026, we're in trouble this year. We're going to have greater effects, more
of cosmic rays, more cosmic rays, and more reaction
from the heavens. Yep,
from the heavens, and it's going to affect the core of the earth, which is going to affect the core of humanity.
Earthquakes, volcanism, your brain, right?
Yeah, Tonga we just had a 5.6 earthquake hit Tonga while we've been on the air.
California, California's under major stress right now.
Yeah,
major stress. The South Carolina is under major stress right now. These are readings coming from deep within the earth. So there'll likely be effects there. And there's several other places. It is just, these things are increasing. And even right now, this was an example of what the sun can do and how many systems on the earth it can affect.
Yeah, it affects everything. It affects wind. It affects current, ocean currents, jet streams. The core of the earth. Does it affect the spinning of the core of the earth, or is that a total different mechanism happening?
Well, the spin of the earth, right, that's based on inertia. It's based on the theoretical rotation of the inside of the earth and fluid dynamics with the magma. So yes, it does. And due to the weakening of the magnetic shielding right?
Mm-hmm.
It will amplify the negative effects. This event we had with the sun was under a strong period of the magnetic field. The magnetic field is not always like that. In fact, even today is decreasing in its potential, right? So it's not going to redirect radiation that well. We're going into a chaotic region of the magnetic field lines of force. They will start to change. And that means when people see auroras in Florida, I know they're beautiful, but that's dangerous. They're going to start to see these every evening.
That's crazy.
And that will be the beginning of the end of a stable era for all of us.
We're going to see major changes in climate activity. Storms, do you think, will it affect tornadoes and hurricanes?
Oh, my Lord, a tornado will be like a hurricane, and a hurricane will be something else. In fact, this year, they have 6 new names for weather phenomena they'll be coming out with in 2026.
New names for storms, a different kind of storms. Like, I remember
people
when they're
going to learn, they're going to be
new terms.
6 new types of weather-related phenomena. They're going to have to use it, right? Because, say, for example, hail. We have hail like a soccer ball, right?
No.
Because we'll have hail like that.
No.
They have gorilla hail, right? That crushed one of the new Ford trucks in about, 20 seconds? I mean, it crushed it, right?
Gorilla hail.
They had hail the size. One piece of hail was the size of, I think they said 2 softballs. 2 softballs.
That's big hail.
It was absolutely devastating. So they have classifications for these events, right? That's why the Weather Channel and the entire weather system across the USA underwent a change. You notice that your local weather personnel could have changed. Many of them were fired. AI is involved now. They need more accurate readings, and they're only allowed to discuss what comes from the top.
So in other words, the meteorologist, the weatherman doesn't get to make his predictions no more. He's being told.
No. Yeah. That's right. Because they fired a lot of people in one day. This happened in 2025. A lot of people had no job. They woke up with no job, tears, crying, everything else. But a lot of people were let go. And it was centralized, essentially. So here we go.
So centralized reporting on the weather because of the changes that's happening to the weather.
That's right.
Monsoon rains are going to get stronger. Hurricanes, hypercanes. We got these hypercanes. We got the polar vortexes coming in. Now they're going to change that term to something else. Atmospheric river. I know that's a new one for the last 3 or 4 years. So you're saying there's 6 new names, but the weather, the local weather guy, he or lady, they're no longer going to be allowed to make their own decision and call the shots.
That's right. They have to read from the National Weather Service. If they don't, they're not going to work as a meteorologist.
And is AI going to be giving us the weather report basically?
It's doing it now. It's making it's performing quite a few tasks, and they have to do this faster because can you imagine what people are going to think when the jet stream reverses?
Well, I don't know what to do. I mean, it's here in America, the weather comes from the west, right? Mm-hmm. If you're telling me all of a sudden it's going to all be always, and sometimes you get an east storm, but I mean, if it just completely shifts and comes from the east, it's going to mess everything up. It's going to change the entire farming community. I mean, it's going to mess everything.
And just so everybody knows this, right? That's what the Great Dust Bowl was about in the USA.
So this has happened before.
Yes, and it's about to happen again. So that means all the crops.
Yeah, it's going to mess up all the farming. Yep,
they're going to be gone. It'll be just like it was during the Dust Bowl. Actually, it'll be worse because we have dug up a little too much soil. But the government took steps. They started taking steps 10 years ago.
Different kind of food processing, whether or not wherever we get the food from. I don't know where we're going to get it from, but I don't even know if it's real. I don't know if it's real. One last thing, Mike, we had a terrible thing happen in Hong Kong. 8 of these 32-story apartment complexes burned up. 8 of them in Hong Kong.
boy, they're having issues. Huh? The bridge fell.
The bridge fell.
You know, and now you have that happening. All of this on that peninsula in that area of the earth. Well, that's unfortunate. It really is.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible.
It looks like it's not going to stop past fall. You have landmass movements and deformations in too many places throughout the earth, and it's just, you know, we're in a season now that's costly. It's going to be very costly.
Insurance is not going to be able to keep up with it.
No, they're not. They're not. In fact, they've already made their changes. If you're nosy enough to read the fine print with insurance, people will find they're not covered for what they were covered for last year, right? Yeah. So everybody is redoing the books. They're redoing the books. There's so many things altering and changing.
Mike, I appreciate it tonight. A lot of good stuff tonight to really chew on, to think about the reality of the world we're in, and just another reason that your faith has to be in Christ. It has to be in Christ. You can't put it in this world, because in this world, you know, if your faith was in this world only, you'd be very miserable, is what Paul said. You know, we have to have faith beyond this world by trusting in Christ. So thank you so much for tonight, Thanksgiving, and taking time out, Mike. I really appreciate it. Everybody does. And happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Pastor Paul, you too. It's always an honor to be here. God bless you, brother.
God bless you. The honor's mine.
All right.
God bless.
All right. God bless.